What lesson did you learn or were most surprised about when you started your nonprofit?
Well, I've started about 8 or 9 over the years, and all of them have been different. I think the first one I started when I was about 28, and I thought I knew everything, and we created some structures that were not typical or normal structures, but we thought we were bigger than we can, organize our board certain ways, and it kind of ended in a little bit of a disaster. And so I was surprised a little bit by we were getting in this for good intentions to help people, but what wound up happening is the larger the organization got, this first one that I started, there were more people interested in sort of power struggles, and we got a lot of notice around town, and so the more that we began to get noticed, the more we had different agendas that came to the table. And the structures weren't put in place in a way, and weren't structured. The organization wasn't structured in a way that allowed it to address those agendas and keep focused on the agenda that we originally started on. So it got, that was a surprise. I think it was also a whole lot more work. And I guess the third thing that I've all kind of say this a lot, and that's been the truth with all of the different organizations that we've worked with or I've started, has been that it's kind of the who knew helping people is really hard, and sometimes especially at-risk populations, it can be very difficult to try to address the issues, and it's complicated and complex. It gets into more than just feeding somebody. You begin to start looking at it. You raise the hood on somebody's life or a family's life or a community. All of a sudden you begin to see all the pathologies and all the stuff that's going on. It causes these problems, and you get down to the roots of these issues, and it's like, okay, how are we going to change that? And so it does take a lot of work and a lot of patience. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, you probably don't need to be doing it, just because long term is where change happens. And starting something just to say you're going to start it and do it for a year or so is probably not the right reason to start a nonprofit. You need to think about what I'm going to be doing this for a long haul, and that's kind of the commitment I made 35 years ago. And if you stay on course and doing those things, it's amazing what happens over the course of time. If you just stay, the opportunities will come to you, but you've got to stay focused on the fact that you're called to do something, and you're there to make a difference.